My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And today, we're going to talk about Lay's new show, GoldenEye, and what does other things... Surprise! Surprise! Congratulations! Congratulations! Now going to be our special day. Happy birthday!
Jessie!
Happy birthday, Jessie!
Thank you. But I demand it in Korean.
Oh!
Thanks.
Something
Yeah, now. Can you tell?
Jessie! Okay, that was, yes, it's Jessie's birthday. She's our first ever birthday since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
We won't tell you how old she is.
It'll be on the 15th, but we
Yeah.
had to surprise her. So
Yeah.
it's like way in advance.
We're sneaking it in.
I'm old.
We're all old. Fine.
So we're going to start a new tradition
Yeah.
of some sort,
Surprise
which is pretty much
birthday.
going to be you get to host a rabbit night and do whatever you want as far as
Yeah.
be a Jessie themed.
Jessie themed.
If it's a movie you want to watch, if it's a show you want to watch, or just clips from something, or music videos, whatever you want to do, you'll get to pick a night and we will have a party and
Yes.
invite people.
So for any of the listeners, we'll keep you apprised of Birthday Extravaganza Fiesta Rabbit Edition.
For Jessie.
For Jessie!
This kind of sounds very weird with rabbit.
Yeah. Okay. It probably wouldn't have sounded weird if it was anyone but me saying it, but fine, I'll take that. That's fair.
To clarify, Rabbit is just a platform
Yes.
that we can watch things
video.
together on.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Nothing. We're all above board. We are a PG-13 show here.
Yeah, we're old enough.
Language warning. But, so that's gonna be fun. But back on track, what we were talking about. So, Amanda, what have you been watching this week?
Still, obviously, Touch Your Heart. Still adorable. Romance's bonus book. I'm a little behind. I've got one more episode to catch up on, but still enjoying it. I liked the little subtle things they did this week with, like, they had the couples in, like, couples outfits, but it wasn't, like, obvious, but they're, like, we're all couple, like, color matched and stuff, and I was like, I see you, I see what you're doing.
I see you, stylists. I see what you're about.
And Legal High, I think I'm behind in that one, too, but I'm really kind of liking it. Like, for something that started off when I was like, I don't think so. And then it's ramped up for me. So I'm quite liking it. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I don't think there's anything else that I'm really watching. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff on the list that I say I'm watching, but I haven't actually put it on in a couple of weeks. So maybe I'm not really watching it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But not stuff that I, like, want to get rid of, like Taiwanese Tale of Two Cities. I really enjoyed the first episode, and I just haven't gone back right now, and I don't know why, but I will eventually.
You're not in the right mood yet.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll get there.
So, but yeah, so probably the only thing I think I'm watching that you guys aren't is Legal High, and Jessie, like, helped me out, scanned out some Japanese trailers so that I'm not, like, totally, because I'm not feeling a romance for the leads. Like, it would just be so super weird at this point. And so apparently the original Japanese doesn't go there. So I'm hopeful that K-Drama Land will, like,
For the first time ever, they
and not-
didn't.
Do they typically follow suit like that?
It depends.
I haven't watched a
I
lot
find
of
that, like, and a lot of Japanese shows tend to be quite a bit more risque than Korean shows, so often lots of things get changed in that sense. But
Yeah, I would imagine the controversial type things would easily get changed. But as far as not that type of topic thing, I was just
Yeah.
yeah.
So
We'll have to see.
and I mean, Yoon Park is in it as sort of the sex lead, and he's
dreamy.
lovely. And
so
his
dreamy.
character's not perfect, but he's like, again, I'm a little behind, so maybe maybe he's taking a huge turn for the worse or whatever. But up until now, it's been very cute. Like I was saying earlier this week, it kind of gives me Suspicious Partner vibes, but like not exactly like, but that whole concept of like a bunch of lawyers, a little bit of found family, a bunch of lawyers working out of the house together kind of thing. Hopefully it sticks with being that. And it's been very like case of the week as far as the leak stuff goes. So it's not like a whole big, drawn out serial killer plot line. It's just boom, 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 and we're done.
So there has been no serial killer yet. Is that what I'm hearing?
Let's not talk it into existence now, ladies.
It's a bit weird drama-wise because they do a lot of I don't know. There's weird stuff that they do that they're doing for comedic effect, but it's not funny. It just is mean, and you're like, it's not really funny. Like, I'm not laughing at the boss who's like edging his employee towards the edge of the roof while he yells at him. Like,
no.
Off roofs. Like, let's not try to play that relax, people. That's not a good look. Right. But most of the time it's pretty interesting. So how about you, Jessie? What have you been watching? Have you had time to be watching anything?
Kind of. I've been making time. Just because I've been forcing myself because work's been crazy. Last week I was behind on Romance's bonus book, which you didn't hear about because we did the music episode, but I caught up with that this weekend. So I'm caught up with that. I'm caught up with Touch Your Heart as much as possible because when we're recording this, an episode has aired, but I haven't been able to watch it like before we're recording this. And then I decided to start a new drama because I have like 8 things on my watch list that I could be watching that are in like various states of really like far into a series and only a couple episodes, but
yeah, it's the way it goes.
It's the J-drama Pretty Proofreader, and I'm absolutely loving it. It was great. I've been seeing all the little like clips of it that Vicky has been posting around on their social media, and I was like, I'll probably like this, especially because the lead actress is Satomi Ishihara, who's one of my kind of favorite Japanese actresses. So I kind of knew that I might like it, but it's really very sweet and endearing, and it's obviously got like kind of it's heavily influenced by like Legally Blonde type of like setup, but it still has like some really great like genuine moments because the lead character, she really loves this one like publishing company that does a couple different fashion magazines that she's like obsessed with. They're like Vogue type fashion catalogs, and she kept on applying for a job there. And I mean, like, she's like obsessed with fashion, and she's obsessed with this all these like catalogs to the point that she's like memorized bits and pieces from the catalogs and that sort of thing. And she's like super detail oriented. And she finally like, I don't think they actually say how many years she's been trying to get this job, but she finally gets a job, and then it ends up being in the proofreading department because they're a big publishing company. So they all like do other things like books. And so it's like this really bubbly, like fashionista girl down in basically the basement with all like the kind of like the weird characters and like the very gloom and like everybody's in black and like no fashion. But it's really sweet. It's literally set up like Legally Blonde. I mean, like her character is like that, where you know how like in Legally Blonde she's just genuinely a nice human being, and she might not be like super smart, but she's genuine in everything that she does. This character is that way, and there's like got a little bit of a found family, and they've been like doing that really great thing where they'll have like found family moments, but they'll also like kind of break off in her relationship with one-on-one with people from the office. Like there's a really great relationship that's happening between her and the boss, like a mentorship relationship. And then also the second female lead in this, who is like a old high school friend who's like the one who studied and like doesn't know fashion, of course, works up in the department as an editor for the, fashion magazine. And it's the girl who was in Vampire Heaven, which
yes. Which is
listen
no
to
longer
our
on TV.
I know. It's not on Viki anymore, but I mean we talk extensively about it.
I know, boo.
In our podcast.
I can't imagine that the rights to that show were particularly expensive.
I know.
Lost it.
I had also watched her in Koinaka, which was pretty good. She was the lead female in that, which I think I watched on Viki, and I don't think I've seen too. So maybe they took off a certain company or something.
Maybe to get new stuff, they had to decide to cut some old stuff.
Yeah, because Pretty Proofreader, even though I think it's a few years old. I want to say it's probably 2016. Yeah.
On MDL it says 2016.
Okay. But it's definitely not new airing, and so but it's new to Viki. They just recently put it up. But it's really cute. I highly recommend it. It's a really great kind of slice of life. It's been great just to watch that and not really have to think about things and just be happy. It's just because every episode it's very episodic and there's a little bit of a thing that goes wrong, but it's very sweetly resolved in the end. So it's nice. I generally really like J-dramas, so it's been nice to watch that.
Nice.
Oh.
Putting it on my list.
What about you, Natalia?
Well, I've been watching Touch Your Heart and Romance is the Most book, of course. We've all been watching that. Still working on my Taiwanese soap opera, Memory Love. I had to take a couple days. It had reached peak, too much. At the, if you watch The Last Empress, if you watch too many episodes in a row and you're just no, I can't do this anymore. I've gotten to that point. So I'm taking a mini break from that. But also this week in non-K-drama world, Shadowhunters came back, and that's my guilty pleasure show. That and Riverdale are my two American shows that I watch that I just beautiful. They're so bad that they're good. So I watch those, and I do a lot of variety. But what I've mostly been watching, if we're going to be honest, is you all know this, but I recently discovered the magic that is Big Marvel on YouTube, and have literally been watching his YouTube videos nonstop and sending them to everyone I know. His chicken parodies, just his going out and doing random stuff videos. I can't. He's a for anyone who doesn't know about Big Marvel, you can look him up. He's a singer and surrealist humorist is the only way I can describe him. Who is Korean but does videos sort of in English, they're in English. And he's just the most. He does all of these parodies where he does songs popular K-pop song covers, but using only squeak toys and children's piano shaped like a cat that only makes meow noises. Mostly with a chicken. He uses one of those chickens and does incredible things with a chicken, I have to be honest. And it's literally the most entrancing YouTube channel I've ever discovered. And he's ridiculous. And he's just, it's just pure fun humor. There's nothing bad about it.
Will there be a Big Marvel rubber chicken t-shirt in our future?
I think there might be. There's a t-shirt for everything in our future. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm just, picking up my usual variety show watches. Running Man, My Little Old Boy, Home Alone, The Manager, all of that. My usuals. Well, what about you, guys?
I'm caught up with Romance is a Bonus book. I would say I was caught up with Touch Your Heart, but yeah, there's one to watch tonight. So I shouldn't have done this. I randomly got inspired to watch almost all of The Beauty Inside this past weekend.
It's great.
It's a good one.
I loved it.
Yeah, I actually I had watched up to episode 4. I had to rewatch episode 4 because I just couldn't remember anything that happened in that episode for some reason. And then I watched the movie version right after it because I wanted to see how closely related it was. And it really wasn't related at all, honestly.
No.
So that was actually really fun because I hadn't binged in quite a while, so it just kind of felt right for some reason, even though I shouldn't have been doing that. I also I'm cut up with Radiant / The Light in Your Eyes, whatever you want to call it. I really, really like that show. More people should be watching it. It's hard to describe. Feelings-wise on it, it's really kind of a bittersweet thing, but they have enough levity in it that it's not as heavy as it sounds. But I mean, it deals a lot with aging. So I mean, some of the topics aren't exactly lovely and fun to watch, but it's usually in small spurts, dispersed with like, you know, the funny brother that just is super extra and random, and so I mean, it works. The Fiery Priest, I haven't watched any more of. I want to, but since I heard that he got injured, I kind of...
Aren't they on hiatus too?
Yeah,
I feel like
because he got injured.
Yeah, but like he got injured like twice in like a week span, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. They need to be looking at that.
He kept having like pretty serious injuries, and then
Broken wrist and broken ribs.
Yeah, and then he got his broken ribs, which that sucks.
Yeah.
Like that hurts really bad.
Yeah.
So I hope they let him fully heal, and he needs to not be so vicious. Like his character does fight a lot and really well, but I sure was hoping that he was not hurting himself. But
Or like also just bringing someone on set that's there to be a safety officer. There's obviously something going on.
A stunt person.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, it's always obvious it's him.
I feel like insurance-wise, it's going to save them more money to just hire a stuntman than to keep letting your main actors get injured.
I guess he's very proud and particular about doing his own stunts.
He's like a Tom Cruise type.
He kind of seems like that's his deal. So I don't think you can really take it away from him if that's what he's insisting on doing.
But I think you can in this circumstance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you can say to him, I'm sorry, but we either need to cut the fight scenes or you need to allow a stunt double because
we literally have your hospital bills to prove this.
And we cannot break any more parts of you because it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the fight scenes are pretty intense, so the fact that he started, I didn't really know that he had gotten hurt the other couple of times, and then that's pretty bad. So I'm even behind a couple of the episodes that are available, just because I was like, my motivation to keep up with it kind of was like, oh, I'm going to have to wait anyway.
I think that he would be more likely to get hurt again. Like, the more hurt he is, the more likely he is to get hurt again. You know what I mean? If he keeps trying to do, because, you know, if your wrist is hurt and then you fall, you're going to, like, protect the wrist. And then you hurt your shoulder or... Yeah. You know, like,
which is probably what happened.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. It's made me very. I was interested in starting it, and now I'm sort of like, I don't know.
Because he got hurt.
Yeah, like, well, because I mean, once okay, but like, and then he's back and he's hurt again, like the next week. Like, come on. Now I'm just like, nah, somebody's not doing their job right over there. So.
Yeah. I think that's all I've been watching. Oh, I was going to say a little bit about the Beauty Inside, aside from it was good. The movie is good, too. And I wasn't trying... I prefer the series because it's more light. There was some very touching stuff, too. But the movie... So I just don't want people to think it tonally is the same. When I say it's different, it is, like, drastically different.
Very different.
So the series kind of has a rom-com feel to it, honestly. Whereas the movie is, I just think it's a bittersweet movie. Like it's tonally, it's a more difficult go. It's not as funny. There are funny parts, and it's a little bit more mature. Not that it was scandalous, but comparatively, because it's a movie.
That's always the case with Korean movies. Like, if you go into a Korean movie thinking you're about to see a movie version of a Korean drama, you're in for a wild ride, my friend, because you do not have the same censorship rules, and they go with it.
And it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't all intense with that. It was more like how the characters would speak about things. I was like, oh, we're just saying that now, aren't we? We're saying that. Compared to, the TV shows. They don't even go there. Like, no, we're not going to talk about that. So, that's what I've been watching.
Very nice. So, this week, as a unit, We all watched the first couple. Well, not as like we did it separately, but like we all did it for the purposes of talking about it. We all started watching Lay's new show. Lay is in Yixing from EXO. The GoldenEyes, which is a Chinese show about a man who, after an accident, gets magical powers in which his eyes can analyze things and he can tell when things are valuable or not.
Or kind of see the history of them.
Yeah, you can see like
and like see through them.
And see through them.
Yeah, but there's like X-ray vision happening.
Yeah.
There's lots of things going on. He's got magical eyes, and he uses this to appraise antiques and make money. Which, let's be real,
that's what we would do too.
That's like a smart play.
Genius.
Like if you suddenly got this power, I'd be like, well, guess I'm going to the road show because like this is like it doesn't seem to be that great for much other things. Well, sort of. It gets a little great, but usually it does other things, but usually in relation to him looking for antiques and getting into some little, zoinks with the police lady. So but before we get into our big discussion about our thoughts on the show, we thought we'd play a fun little game. Since the show is basically Indiana Jones starring a wizard, that we would recast Indiana Jones with Korean actors. Who wants to throw out their suggestion for who should play Indiana Jones?
Soji Sub.
It's always Soji Sub. I love him. But you know what? I actually, for the first time, disagree. Okay. I feel like you need someone who has more of like a playful face, whereas he's really good at playing the straight, because he's sort of like I'm gonna be honest. Soji Sub, he's very handsome, but he's got a very stoic face, just permanently. I just feel like Soji Sub's face is just a little too straight man. Like you need someone who has sort of more of a sly, like, but like real. You know who I think will be good? I don't know his name, but the guy who played the cousin brother doctor guy on
the cousin brother doctor guy.
Yeah, it makes sense when I say what's in weightlifting fairy Kim Bok Joo. The cousin brother doctor guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I call him Cop Face.
He's a Canadian.
Yeah, he's got cop face, so I always call him Cop.
I just know his Instagram handle is Goon Papa. For all the Canadians, I got, whatever. Oh my goodness, what's his name?
He's very handsome. He's sort of got in a real chiseled, beautiful way. He's got sort of a real kind, like sort of sassy face, like.
Yep.
I have another person that I think could also play and have fun with the role too.
Okay, go.
What's his face from Player?
Yes! Yes!
I don't remember his name.
Sung-Kyun?
The pretty. Yeah. Something like that, yeah. But I think he would be really good with the, like, kind of the sly, like, playfulness of that character. Yeah. And, nice to look at.
Let's be honest.
And using his charms.
Lee Jae-yoon.
That's the one.
Jae-yoon. Or I believe as one of our mutuals calls him Thighs, I believe is the name that they call him. They call him Thighs. Because he is very built. He's a very like bodybuildy kind of.
Yeah. He has sort of the build that you would think he, robs tombs for a living. Putting that out there.
For Indiana Jones, I would kind of want to say Lee Jun-ki.
Okay.
But he's so the only reason I'm willing to say that is because of Lawless Lawyer.
True. That's
because
true.
Before that, I wouldn't have said he's so scrappy and stuff. But because of that show, he can kick tail.
And you know what? It would.
Also.
But I know that visually he does not look like he can. He looks very small.
But he's still got that that thing that he does, like that little charm thing that he does.
Yeah,
that's you don't actually have to be like super good looking to pull that off. Like it's just in your like charismatic ways,
Like,
you know, like
sort
He
of
has the charisma for it.
Yeah, the wry wit charisma.
Yeah, I can see
All
that.
the little
I could see
turn
that.
of phrase stuff that other people wouldn't really get. Be all
Like
about it.
the delivery of lines with like a little sly, like, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like laughing at the bad guys as they fall and stuff, like he would find, he'd be good at that.
And he kind of pulls off that bespectacled, like, nerd thing very well as well.
Yeah.
So like the
You need
duality.
to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where suddenly it's like he pulls a Clark Kent Superman thing where it goes from mild-mannered archaeology professor to badass tomb robber.
So who are we casting as the female lead?
We have to be specific about the female lead that is able to do action-y things slightly, or the female lead that kind of can't, and she's a damsel in distress, because there's kind of two types.
No. We're doing the original, the badass female lead.
Okay, because there's a difference.
There is a difference, and I would like to elect
And
Sylvia
there's
Chin.
usually the female lead, and then there's the, like, evil female lead, right?
Yeah.
There's always like an evil girl.
Yeah, I'm going the main female lead, and I am volunteering Seo Hyun Jin, because I feel like she'd be amazing in action sequences based purely on the fake movie she was making in The Beauty Inside and how good she was in it. Like,
She was good at it.
she was
That fake
good in
movie.
that fake movie that we all wish existed because we want to see her in an action movie. Like, and now, and also she's got sort of like she can pull off like a good sort of angry energy that Barry and Ravenwood character had, right? She was sort of like a so I feel like she would be good at that. Now, in terms of evil female characters,
I was thinking somebody like Lee Sung-kyung from Pink Fairy. Like, not that you would, if that's the only thing you've seen her in, not so much. But she is very
she's good
tall and statuesque. She's got that supermodel vibe going on, and
she has sort of a slightly severe face when it's like her normal face has sort of a she's very beautiful. Like when I'm saying severe, I don't mean in an ugly way. I mean sort of in like a model way.
Yeah. Like, and the evil female has to have that like just drop dead gorgeous
always come on
thing going on, that Jessica Rabbit kind of deal, and I feel like she can maybe pull that off.
What about like the sidekick type?
Oh, okay. I have two possible roles for one amazing man. So you know where I'm taking this.
If it's who I'm thinking, there's more possible roles for him. I'm sure we're going to discuss.
So there's like the sidekick character in the original Indiana Jones. That's like the knowledgeable dude that takes him to all the archaeology digs and whatever. There's also the Nazi, who we will recast. This is the Korean version. Will not be a Nazi because that like wasn't a thing in Korea. It would be Japanese, Japanese, evil, just bad dude. Both could be played by Kim Won-hee. I said
at the same time.
Every other, why not? like an evil mustache on him. Like you've got two whole new characters.
This is true. Because I mean, he's currently playing a Russian, so it works.
He can do anything.
He's Kim Won-hee.
What more do you need?
I would consider. I was thinking I would consider what's his? Oh my goodness, from The Last Emperor.
Shin Sun-Ruk.
Yes, Shin Sun-Ruk.
As evil or not?
Either way,
I Indiana Jones.
Oh God! Wait, the super goofy sidekick guy who turns out to be evil. Like, like
twist. Or the one who gets like possessed by the evil spirit of whatever artifact they've just tomb robbed and thus becomes evil.
There you go. Yep.
What about his dad? Who is the Korean version of Sean Connery in this?
Okay. So, the dude, I gotta look up his name. He was on Suspicious Partners. He's the old dude in Suspicious Partners. What is his name?
But to me, Sean Connery was really not that old when he played the dad.
No, I think he was only like 10 years older than Harrison Ford or something.
Yeah.
Like, he just looks old.
Because they even seduced the same chick in one of the movies.
Yeah, like, that's the other thing. Sean Connery's kind of sexy. Like, kind of,
yeah.
He's a sexy old dude. So you kind of have to have somebody who's got a level of, like,
Sean Connery
like get the girl.
I'm going to be honest, Sean Connery always kind of looked like my dad, so I never really got the sex appeal of Sean Connery in any way. But this guy also kind of looks like the Korean version of my dad, so I guess that's why I'm like,
you're making that connection.
Yeah, and also he had so Lee Duck-Hwa is his name. Like I've seen him on like variety shows and many shows, and he always kind of plays the same character. And the character he plays is the character of my dad, essentially. Like that's exactly what, like in Suspicious Partners, that's exactly what my dad was like. So it was kind of sad watching it, but at the same time, it's also really fun watching it. But, and I thought I always sort of, that was my association. I just think it would be a funny twist on the character to see him and this young Indiana Jones character going for the same lady.
Even as being Jae-yoon, was that who we said? The guy from Weightlifting Fairy. If he was the Indiana Jones, he feels like physically I could see him.
They look similar. Yeah.
Kind of have that same shaped face a little bit or something. I could see that. I could see them playing off each other pretty fun.
I think that would be fun.
Good work. Who's the bad guy in our Indiana Jones movie?
I already elected Kim Won-hee.
Sure.
The bad guy?
Yeah, just bad. Bad guy. I feel like he's just waiting for that opportunity to just put get his grips on a nice meaty evil character. You know what I mean?
He would probably be terrifying if he put his mind to it.
Yeah. No, you know who else would be good at it? Oh my goodness. He's what is his name? I'll look up his name. He actually plays villains. He plays villains a lot. What is his name? Oh my god, I can't even think of anything he's in except for variety shows. This is gonna drive me insane. He was on the Infinite Challenge, Infinite Company movie as this is so frustrating, guys. This is
well, think of it. I'm gonna put in what about Ho Jun-ho, who is the serial killer dad in Come and Hug Me, but he's also in The Player as the dad that you briefly see, but he's in a ton of stuff. He plays an outstanding bad guy.
That could work. I could also see Jang Hyuk playing the bad guy.
Okay, you're right.
And maybe in that love rival bad guy, scenario that sometimes happens with the Indiana Jones steals his woman away or whatever.
The last time we did this for Die Hard, wasn't he Hans Gruber in our final
I think so.
Maybe. I might just really like him.
I just need to cast him in everything I possibly can.
Well, he's just wonderful.
I want to talk about Lei, the actual antique dealer.
Okay. Yes. So,
yes, we do.
In our group chat, we had a discussion. I think actually Jessie started it with a Twitter post that she made saying I would really love to just watch a show about Lei discovering the magic of pottery.
I want him to be the host of Antiques Roadshow now.
Yeah,
is essentially what I want.
I want that.
I would literally just watch a show that's just his character on this show, just literally buying and selling antiques without any of just a real zen
They could explain it the one episode where the professor comes in and is explaining that one pot that's red. If it's just like that, perfect.
This is amazing.
I feel like I'm learning so much. I'm I'm learning history here. This is
when he went on about why did you buy this painting? And he was well, like the method of mounting that they used like was this. So I thought it can't, like, there must be something going on because of this, like, oh, this particular mounting style was used in this dynasty. And I'm just like, whoa, like I am learning so much right now. But of course, with all things Chinese drama wise, you have to sort of take everything that's being said, especially from a historical point of view, with a slight grain of salt.
When you say slight, do you mean slight, or do you mean a giant
grain
block
of
of salt?
Because the Chinese government is well known for basically rewriting history often and then forcing media to go along with this sort of new revised version of history that they've encountered. So far, with like just talking about antiques, like it hasn't really, come up in any way. But that's just, for most Chinese dramas, you just got to sort of be like, okay, I can't really, if there's something being said about like politics, economics, history, you got to sort of be like, probably a little fake at least. Just like, probably like mostly propaganda. So that's just, I'm not saying I don't enjoy Chinese dramas. Obviously, I do. I watch many of them. But for all you listeners out there who haven't started to see drama, just,
be aware.
Be aware.
Keep that in mind. However, Lei is just so cute.
He's so pretty.
And I would watch Antiques Roadshow hosted by Yixing. Like, but he's just like a little...
His character or him as a person?
Either.
Either. His character would be awesome because he's just so kind and sweet. And his, like, real personality would be awesome because he's just such a depressed sad sack all the time who just seems constantly confused at the fact that he's... Like, every time...
He can never figure it out.
Time he like encounters, you just see all these videos of like fans screaming for him, and he's like, who are they screaming for? And they're like, you. And he's like, what? Me? He's just so cute all the time.
Never ironic. He is always serious.
Which is so different from his like music video persona, where it's like night and day. Different. All of a sudden he's like cranks the sexy up to 11 and he's
like shooting like little bedroom eyes at you, and then like he gets off the stage and he's like, oh, maybe one day someone will love me, and you're just like
he's like a cute Eeyore kinda
feeling really down lately, like I'll just strum my guitar to try to cheer myself up, but every note sounds sad somehow, and you're just like, what is this? Who is this man? Anyway,
he's the enigma.
Oh, he's so confusing.
But I like his character in this, and like you said, like I would watch him if this drama was nothing but sort of like superhero of the people, where he went around and like helped poor widows find the the treasure that they had so they could pay this month's rent or whatever.
That would be.
I would watch that drama.
Sort of like The Littlest Hobo, where the role of the German Shepherd is played by Yixing. Oh wait, you're American. You don't know the American Civil
We have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, The Littlest Hobo was a Canadian kids show. A masterpiece, where basically every week was a new story where this German Shepherd, the littlest hobo, would wander into a family who's having problems in life and help them fix their lives, and then would continue on to the next family that needed help.
So Americans call that Lassie?
No. Lassie stuck with one family.
No, Lassie was always just helping get Timmy out of wells. Timmy was the downfall of Lassie.
The littlest hobo making people reconnect in their marriage and helping, abused children. He did everything.
That's a deep dog.
The littlest hobo.
He's stopping.
It was like
gangsters are coming after the mom and pop shop, and he's taking out the gangsters.
Yeah, but the littlest hobo was amazing. And every episode kind of had that, on a very special episode, after school vibe to it. Anyway, we want him to be that, but it's okay because he's not.
In my head right now.
Okay.
How come we didn't import that? That would have been a good thing to import.
I don't feel, like, I think it would
Put
be
that on
great
PBS.
here.
We would have watched it.
It was
We had
on
Wishbone,
CBC.
and I love Wishbone.
Wishbone was my version of that.
Oh, we
but
had Wishbone too, though. You see, because as we said last week,
I
American
know.
export, they don't import.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
you guys
It's
are
not.
just
It's not your fault.
If we
You were
couldn't
born
have gotten
into
the
this
dog
system.
show, I mean, come
Like,
on.
I didn't have a television as a child, and I still somehow watched The Little and Hobo. Like little, it was little that and Degrassi. Oh,
See, I watched Degrassi.
Degrassi we exported apparently.
yeah.
Anyway, back to Lay.
Oh,
Yeah, but anyway, moving back. Instead of that, which would be a fun show, we're sort of getting like if Candle in the Tomb was less confusing and more fun. Because like am I the only one who watched Candle in the Tomb? Yeah. Well, Candle in the Tomb was like fun, but the story made very little sense, and I don't know if that was like a translation issue or just sort of like hot mess issue. But this one is like it's like a really solid like tomb raiding fun show. Like it sort of starts out like it's not gonna be that, like because it starts out with his shop getting robbed
And an incredible action sequence, like
which was
he like jumps
mind-blowing.
over like the counter and just does all this stuff.
about the guns and
he wastes those guys. But
and feathers flying around him, like it's very very stylized and lovely.
That's probably not the case. His action skills not fantastic, as it continues to be shown throughout. But what is fantastic is his earnest friendliness and his desire to just be a nice dude.
Yeah.
So, like, even when he makes all this money off of these antiques, he's still sharing it with his friend. He's, like, dividing it evenly with, like, the guy who gave him a little bit of money to, like, when he was short. Like, he wants to do the right thing. Yeah. Meanwhile, his friend's like, fucking don't do the right thing. Get rich, get bitches. Like, woo! You're like, nah, we gonna do the right thing. And his little dimples. I will say, in terms of a Chinese show, the special effects on this are pretty good.
Actually, yeah.
Like they're
especially with his eyes, because the whole point of like the show, like during the pawn shop robbery, when you actually see what he does, not what he like thinks he's gonna do in his head, like they shoot like an artifact and like piece of it like scratches his eye, and then he kind of wakes up to have like this superpower.
That's how he gets the power of the golden eye.
And before that he like couldn't see anything. He had to have glasses and all that stuff.
And magically healed him.
Well, so I'm curious how it went to the other eye, but that's fine.
Yeah, because they only shortcut one eye, but it apparently works in both eyes now.
It rewired his, optic nerves. So
but
it's magic, guy.
It's magic, so it doesn't have to follow. The only logic it has to follow is its
I
own
had
internal
to say
magic
it.
logic.
I wish that as opposed to showing it slice his eye, what they'd showed it with like embed in his eye or something and like particulate.
They might have not had the budget for that.
Then
I think they were just trying to do that stylistic like shot. But like what's really cool is they'll do some things like, especially when he's like going into his like power mode where he can like see through something. Even after they'll be like he's not even like doing what he's supposed, like doing the actual magic, but they'll like have a slither of the gold just in the bottom of his eye, and it's like it's totally like unnecessary, and like actually you could get away with not having it, but the fact that they are doing that, I think it's like
shows a level of care that these sorts of shows tend to not have.
Yeah, there's someone on the graphics team, and they're like they're showing pride into the graphics team, and like just like being like, nope, don't do that.
It's pretty obvious that like the people making this show are really passionate about making this show. Like you can tell, like, because with a lot of Chinese shows, you watch them and the oh boy, the graphics, there's something else, or like the dubbing is just so bad that you're like, you didn't even try. But in this one, you can tell people are like, try it. to make a good show.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even in the first couple of episodes, he looks at things like constantly. It's like nonstop graphics. He'll look at an apple and be able to see inside that it's like, you know, brown, or like he'll look at an object and then be able to like see its history, and like I mean, it's like constantly
and the way that the way that they show, like, you know, the history of items, I find it really clever. Like, just it's sort of like they show the birth of the item.
Yeah.
And I like it.
I appreciate his character, that they did give him a background, not just working at the pawnbroker shop, but also, which, by the way, pawnbroker place looked swanky compared to what I was thinking it was going to look like.
I feel like that's like a
bad
mistranslation.
Because it's truly an antique shop.
Yeah, like high end.
It's an antiquities shop. And at first I was like, because of the translation, I was kind of confused. Like when he was at his like thing, I thought that he owned the pawn shop. Like when they were like, oh, like I'm gonna be like a rich shop owner. And then so like they sort of made it seem like he was poor and sad. But then he's walking into this gorgeous building, and I was like, wait a second, like. Yeah. He already seems like he's doing okay. Like, look at this beautiful shop he's got. But then it turns out he's just like a part-time employee.
It's like art history degree to work or whatever. Like. Right.
So I think it's nice that he has a history degree and that he has that background too. So it's not simply, because sometimes in shows it'll be like random dude that has absolutely nothing to do with his power suddenly gets to do all this stuff. It's nice. It's like, oh, he actually does know some stuff to begin with. It's like he has an interest in it already.
What's the male version of a Mary Sue? That's usually what these male characters are. Like, you have, like, why? There's no reason for you to have this power. Get out of here.
It's also really great because I think it's going to play really nicely, and, like, it obviously has in, like, the second episode when he obviously knew the professor who came in and valued the pot. He obviously has connections with a bunch of people, and even, like, when he lost his job at the pawn shop, they were all like super nice about it. It was kind of more like, this is what has to happen.
Well, it was more that he lost his job because the police were hassling him.
Yeah.
Like, hassling them, and they just didn't want to deal with the police anymore.
Yeah, but it was never like a, we hate you for what happened.
Because like he didn't do anything. Okay, this is my one gripe. God, that cop lady. The cop lady. Like, I both like her and can't stand her because like there's like
her action sequences.
Yeah, are beautiful.
Beautiful.
But like, she's just.
But her character.
Yeah, like she just like there's literally.
Like the guy is in a hospital bed with his face wrapped because he had to have eye surgery after being attacked by men with guns, and she's like,
why? Like, you're a part of this crew. And
why did you go back to your work? Because I left.
He's like, I left my phone, and it's like he just walked in to get his phone. Why would you lock the door if you're just going to get your phone? She's like, well, like, it's really suspicious that you didn't lock the door. It's like,
but also like 2 minutes. He couldn't lock the door because the way that the store was locked was a big padlock. Remember, he opened a big padlock on the doors, so it wasn't even like he opened up like a deadbolt or anything. There was literally a padlock around the handles of the door, so there's like no option for him to. Yeah.
Like I would look at this like her like partner who's like, I don't know, man, like he seems like he's not really a part of this. She's like, I'm gonna find out how he's a part of this. Yep. And I think I've watched a couple more episodes than.
I've watched 4, I think.
Yeah, I'm up to like episode 6.
I don't get got to do.
And like she does not stop, even when there's like just overwhelming evidence that like no, he's really not related. She's still like
that trope. They always do that, like gung ho cop who like thinks that person is the person that like she needs to target when
it's like literally everyone around him is like, no, this guy's like not involved in this. Like he's like the nicest dude. Like he's just like a little like antiquities nerd. And she's like, no, she's like, who are you working with? Like, is this your boss? Like with the the gang leader. He's like, I don't know this guy. Like, why do you keep calling him my boss? Like, I don't understand. So it's getting a little old, but I feel like right now we're at a turning point with her.
You're farther ahead than we are.
So. I am. But I feel like she might come around eventually, which will make her slightly.
She's going to be the love interest. Come on.
Well, yes.
So the thing about her that I wanted to say was, though her tropiness on one end, but as far as I think it was the first episode, once she got over her, like, wanting to peg him for stuff, she actually had a moment where she was talking to her superior, where she kind of explained a connection that had not been mentioned before, and that it was actually a valid reason to look more into the robbery, because it did seem like... So, I mean, she actually had some really good reasoning skills, and the fact that she really needed to go do this.
I'm not saying that she's, like, a stupid character, because nothing bothers me more.
I wasn't saying... I was just saying... I feel like they aren't giving her enough time being a reasonable character, because she's actually smart. Like, they don't let her...
Yeah, you also have to, like,
be like, her job.
It's going to be longer, too, because this is like a longer series. So this is, like, a setup like a Western show that could have multiple seasons, you know, like, do the, you know, gradual thing. I also think that the actress playing her is doing kind of a really nice job, because it could go so poorly. Like, it's a very fine line, like, that it could just be, like, super annoying for all of it. And she's been able to kind of, like, get into a level where, like,
I
you're
it.
not into it.
The acting in this show is very good. I will say that. And the dubbing is also better than normal. High quality dubbing. I think it's on the same level as, like, When a Snail Falls in Love. Like, that was some good dubbing. Like, you can barely, like, you know it's dubbed, but, like...
They're actually... adjusting levels too, and like not making it super crazy, and like actually adding some noise in the background too. It's great.
My favorite scene in the first, I think it was in the first couple episodes with the cop lady, is when she gets on the motorcycle and her male partner has to sit in the tiny little sidecar. All folded up with, like, all the stuff. I was like, that's beautiful. Like, that's like a perfect... I love moments like that in shows that tell you a lot about, like, this character, like, these characters, their relationships, like, their backgrounds. Like, can do it without having to, like... Yeah, it does. You don't have to, like, add, like, billion hours of exposition. Like, just little moments like that sort of, you know, tell you what you need to know about the character. Like, for example, the one that I think was so telling about, like, Lay's character was after he gets the pot and he gets all this money for it, where he asks, oh, should I go, like, give some to the guy who sold it to me for $90? Because, like, you know, like, I feel like
like $1 million?
Yeah, and then the guy's like, no, nobody does that. Like, so it's like, you know,
I'm doing it though.
I know. He's not a very...
You helped me so.
But, like, it's kind of funny because he keeps, like, his roommate, who's always like, stop it. He keeps, like, giving him all the money. He's like, you be the accountant. I'm clearly, like, not the one to be in charge of the money. Like, I will find the artifact. You deal with paying the bill.
But then also his, like, friend is like, let me just order this and order this food and order this food, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Very bad with money. But they do get all their bills paid, and that's the important part.
One of the things that I really like about it, and it's such a, like, not anything actually to do with the show, but I really like the opening credits are basically, like, there's a few shots of Lay doing stuff, and then it's basically just shots of, like, antiques and vases,
pottery and
things, and they're not giving away the whole series.
No,
and then they don't have, like, the closing credits are, like, bloopers. It's not.
It's so
sweet. It's not like 6 minutes of we have told you the whole story.
No, I find that's another thing that Chinese dramas do a lot is the opening and ending credits. They tell you everything you're about to watch. I skip them. Just always skip them because, like, they will tell you too much. They'll tell you every point. But that's not the case here. Maybe they're learning.
Does not give everything away in the credits. So I like. It's a nice.
I really enjoy it.
I do too. I
like it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I saw that Natalia had put something on Twitter about in the credits that he was like he helped with lights or camera or something.
They credited Yixing as, like, a special lighting director, special sound editor, like sound technician, and then they showed, like, a picture of him, like, just sort of, like, helping hold up a light and, like, helping hold up a boom while he's, like, offset, and they put him in the credits. So I think that's so cute. I just thought it was cute.
Well, I think that's cute, and I actually have seen for other Korean actors, Like, I know that Lee Joon-ki, like, he loves to help on the set, so he actually will, like, help hold lighting stuff for the other people or whatever. So I think it's kind of neat when actors do that.
A funny story on Love in the Moonlight, when one of the older actors was getting his makeup done, Park Bo-gum was done, and so the guy had his eyes closed, and then when he opened them, it was Park Bo-gum was the one putting his makeup on, like he's selling makeup lady. Like, what? He's like, why? What is not your job? The comment he said was, he's like, yeah, like everyone always says these celebrities are nice, but like Park Bo-gum's like, put on your makeup for you, nice. No, but I just thought that was really cute.
I was just gonna say, what I really like about the show is the tone is very much like a Sci-Fi Channel show.
Yes!
That's like what it's like set up to be.
Yes.
So, you know, like Warehouse 13 or like, you know, any of those type shows,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, this is gonna be fun. And it's like not gonna be outstanding, but it's gonna be like a fun hour of
Like,
show.
I feel like if someone's having a lot of problems with the show, either they don't like the genre to begin with, which is whatever, or
Not
they're
used to a show like that.
yeah, or they're like expecting something from this show that this show had never intended to deliver whatsoever.
Right.
Like, you know, if they wanted like, you know, a gritty, like running from gangsters, like, no, they're gonna, you know, it's gonna be a little silly because he's a magical antiques finder. Like, what kind of serious energy were you looking for from this? Like, his magic powers is finding antiques. Like, him and my mom have that in common. Like,
The poster for it is very like James Bond.
yeah.
Like old school James Bond, not like new gritty Daniel Craig James Bond.
like,
this is
campy
like Sean
Bond.
Connery in the 60s James Bond type poster. So
It's
I
like
think you should know what you're in for. Some action, some goofiness, some
pretty antique.
probably romance.
Yeah,
It's coming.
Little
romance
touching
coming.
moments.
Yeah, and Lei playing himself with magic powers.
Yeah.
And looking less confused.
Yes, he does look less confused but he still
He
looks
looks smug a lot of the time, but like good
like,
smug.
finally
But
smug.
like smug
just he
to his
knows
like
something.
buddy.
Yeah,
Like
but mostly just to his buddy, because his buddy's just a hot mess. his buddy's like the me of the relationship. Bad financial decision after bad financial decision. But no, they're fun. Like, it's a fun show, and I feel like it's gonna keep being fun. I'm a little ahead of you guys, and I'll just let you know, no spoilers, but
it's still fun.
it's still pretty fun. There's, you know, fun in the way the movie The Mummy is fun, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Excellent.
So pretty fun. Not with, obviously not mummies, but like that whole, you know, tomb raiding vibe. It's
Very cool.
Also, I really love the movie The Mummy, so any chance to bring it up. Are we all gonna keep watching this show?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm in.
Well, it's actually my first C-drama.
Oh.
I think it might be mine too.
Oh my goodness, C-drama virgins.
Well, no, I feel like I've watched a couple of episodes of some other ones.
This is not indicative of what you can expect from the average. This is much better.
I mean, I've obviously watched Mandarin speaking shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
Taiwanese.
Yep.
Taiwanese are so different though.
Yep, totally different vibe. I mean, I think I'm gonna stick with GoldenEyes. I'm wondering if I'm going to stick with it at the moment though, because there's a lot of shows coming down the pipe that I think I'm gonna be trying to watch. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to put it on the side and then maybe binge it later.
For me, like with Chinese, it's easier to binge because
Get in that mindset.
It's hard to stay on top of like 5 or 6 episodes a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot to maintain. And I feel like if I get behind more than 1 or 2 episodes, then it's like, I'm done. Whatever. I'm out. And then, you know, so if I just binge it, then I'm fine. But I'm kind of in the mood for it right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that time of year where like it's still winter and I'm so done with winter and I just need something.
Need to go rob a tomb.
I just need something fun. Like I don't need like a depressing melodrama because
I don't need
the
things
weather
to
is
like
depressing
make
enough.
me think.
Yeah, I just want to.
The episode lengths are really great too. Like that
Right.
makes it
Yeah.
really nice.
I mean, I might still keep with it, but it might if I have a hole for that genre.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't.
Mhm.
You know what I was just thinking that I find just so wonderful about our little group is how vastly different all of our schedules are. So I'm listening to you be like, well, like, I don't know if I have time to watch like a 5 day show like per week. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I got time. I got time for that. Oh, the freelance life leads to this would not be my first 5 a day. Or 5 a day. Jesus, that would be okay. Even that would be
Okay.
But 5 episodes a week show. There was a Taiwanese show that came out like 3 years ago. It was called like V Focus, and I was so down to clown with that. And it was like 5 episodes a week. But it's a really good one. I do recommend for anyone out there who wants to sort of go into the. I don't even know what. It's not like a sitcom, but like
daily.
Yeah, like a daily Taiwanese show. V Focus was pretty fun.
I just think I keep reading articles and hearing things that there are just a lot of shows coming. That's the only reason why I'm hesitant to commit that I will keep watching it now.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have a lot of shows coming, but also it probably will also depend on if Vicky's subbers stay at this level of commitment. So
I find often though on Viki, the Chinese shows get subbed a lot quicker.
Okay.
Than the Korean shows.
That's interesting.
Also, idol dramas.
That's true.
Like with a high level idol in the main, that tends to drive subs a little faster, I find too.
Okay.
I mean, like that. I wanted to watch that My Amazing Boyfriend too, and I started it and then I dropped it because it had issues.
Oh, issues.
It had
issues.
Problems.
That really bums me out, but yeah.
Yeah, and but I mean, the first week's episodes were. It was into the second week, and the first week's episodes were still like 50% subs. Lay's thing started, and it had 2 episodes out. They were at 100%. It was like bam,
2 hours later, they're out.
Clearly, the subbing teams love Lay more than they like Mike D'Angelo. So.
Listen, I get it. The dimples, they get you every time. Like, oh, he's just so cute. He's just so cute.
He is cute.
Like, I obviously don't have children because I don't like them, but like, my feelings towards Lay are like the closest I've ever felt like motherly affection. Like, I just want to like make him some hot chocolate and tuck him into bed. It's so cute. And he watches music videos, and I'm like, oh no. I'm feeling triggered now.
So is there anything coming, like in the next week, that we're looking forward to? I think that psychometric guy is starting.
Yes, I saw some.
Does anybody, like, is somebody subbing it? Do we know? Is Vicky getting
not
it?
Sure. I have no idea yet, but I did see some enticing shower scene behind the scenes footage that dropped.
Oh, your word choice for something like enticing.
It's such a like thing to start off with. Like, hey, we're dropping some pictures. It's the shower scene, and you're like,
you know what? I feel like they know their audience. Like they're like we're just gonna draw you in with some abs. You know what? Isn't this sort of, he has a similar power? Like he can tell the history of objects if he touches them. Isn't that like the plot? Psychometry is, isn't it?
The fact that we're all Googling this at the moment. Or I'm letting you guys Google it for me. I'm staring at you.
Psychometry is token reading, so you can just touch something and like know its associations in the history of an object.
This says people, so he can read the secrets of people who comes in contact with him.
So he's just.
And it's the story of him and a girl who tries to hide her pain. And they will.
Well, it's not. I'm gonna be honest. It's not really selling me. I would
so then,
like a
Lay's character needs to just have a little cameo and walk through as he's like looking at something.
Because Lay has actual psychometry, but like not like touch wise. He just has like visual.
And then they can have a nice little chat in a coffee shop, and that'd be good.
Ew.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Vicky has it.
For that psychometric guy, and it looks like light and cute and
Yeah,
stuff.
it looks like kind of like a school.
But then it's
drama.
tagged with thriller, and I'm like,
So they're about to suspicious partners us, aren't they?
oh, you know what? One of the girls in the poster is wearing a uniform. She's a cop. Frickin'.
We've been suspicious partners, my friends.
Dang it!
We can't get away. We cannot get away.
I don't tend to read the synopsises very much of new shows because
It's always wrong.
Just like the trailers. To me, sometimes it can just be so different that I might as well just
and
not.
Like, and my thing is like, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna watch it anyway. So why?
Yeah,
I didn't go in surprised. Like,
oh, new show, cool.
yeah, like, listen, it's me. I'm just like, I got time. Like,
So like,
am I gonna leave my house? Are you kidding me?
In the winter in Canada?
You're hilarious. Like, I leave for food. That's all I do.
So I mean, I'll definitely be trying that one. We'll just see. We'll see where.
Yeah,
it
I
goes.
just looked on Drama Currents, little things coming up. Yeah. Almost everything is like a to be determined on the show.
Like they're really
no one knows when Possessed is coming out.
Listen, nobody knows
Possessed is already out, right? Or today?
It starts today, I think. But all the OCN dramas, like, where are they? Where are they gonna be? Who's picking them up?
Kill it.
Everybody wants
oh my God. Okay.
Kill it. I have Confession at the end of the month that I want to watch.
Mm-hmm. I do not know the synopsis that has been presented for Kill It, but on the strength of those goddamn posters alone,
they're great.
The posters. I want to like buy one and hang it up. They're
it is
so
pretty.
good. Like, there's such good.
Here's
posters.
the deal about the synopsises. I feel like early on the devil was involved.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this as well. That
he was raised by the devil, and then he was going to get revenge on the people who sold him to the devil.
Like, but maybe the devil.
And now we're not mentioning the devil anymore.
Well, maybe like devil wasn't really devil, but like just
like maybe devil is like the name of the like gangster boss or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And somebody mistranslated something.
Yeah, because now he's an elite assassin.
Yeah,
so it always said that, but it was like he was an elite assassin who had been raised by the devil, and now he was trying to get revenge on the people who had sold him to the devil.
Like, listen, I've watched that anyway, but I'll also just watch this. But like, it's got like a real sort of like Hawaii Monster Boy feel to it, like, but like with much better filming.
Big Issue. It came out today, and it's on Viki.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna be down for that one.
Check that one out.
Fun. That one looks fun.
I'm just not really into paparazzi, in general, so I don't like watching them.
I kind of feel like they're the parasites of them and white billionaires, the parasites of our world, really.
I saw, and I tried to do some research, but I didn't see when it's going to be released. It's a show called Her Private Life. They did a script reading today or yesterday.
On the strength of that cast alone.
So we're talking Park Min Young and Kim Jae-wook, and so with just that, everyone's pretty much out.
Oh my goodness, guys, it's finally happening.
So remember
we spoke this into being last year, if you'll recall. We wanted this. We wanted it. It's happening.
Everybody wanted it. Come on.
We have special powers, okay? We speak things into existence. Okay, can we kill it into Kakawa existence or?
No, because it's a JTBC drama, isn't it?
It's OCN, I think.
OCN. So Viki.
Yeah.
So it's Viki
I'll take Netflix.
Either.
Whatever. I'm down to clown with either. Like, we good.
That Private Life one starts beginning of April.
And one that is coming out this week, it's a C-drama. The Chosen Ones. I don't know if it's available anywhere, but I did look into it a little bit, and it looked pretty neat. I thought it's a fantasy story around the god of death, a ghost keeper, and a judge. And I thought it looked kind of cool.
Huh.
It says comedy fantasy, so I wanted to watch it.
You've said two words.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
2 words that lead to things that I enjoy.
Death and Ghost, comedy fantasy. What did I say?
And the poster has a little a kid with pink hair.
Yeah,
so
see.
That looks...
So we have to watch it then.
And it's only 12 episodes, so I wonder if it's a web series.
Oh.
Oh.
Because it's listed as 12 episodes.
Also coming out, supposedly, pretty much the Chinese version of Oh My Venus.
Oh, intriguing.
Because it's listed as Oh My Venus is listed as the parent story of My Fitness Coach.
Well, that's
helps a female journalist in her slimming journey in the process of stumbling growth, and the two reshape the warmth of their life and find romance.
That's it's different.
The guy that's in it is Jiro Wong. Who he was? I've seen him a couple. He was the main guy in Fabulous Boys. So
interesting.
That starts today.
So I don't know if it's available anywhere. I didn't go research. So those were the random ones that I kind of stumbled across on MDL that looked interesting to me, but I don't know if they are anywhere. And if they are, I'm in trouble because that's a lot of shows.
Yeah. I know.
So that's why I'm like, I want to watch The Lay Show, but I have no idea what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Maybe watching nothing, maybe watching 15 things.
I mean, it depends on what else is made available to us.
That's true.
And get subs. Oh, hey, we're watching this one because guess it's got subs.
Back when I first started watching dramas, I just didn't know it was so much of a struggle. Because Drama Fever was around, and then Vicky was there, and then some of it was on Netflix, and so because my knowledge of what dramas were available was really limited to what I saw on those sites, I didn't know the pain of too bad.
And you hear the veteran, the people who've been watching for 10 years, and they're like, it used to be rough.
Well, yeah, it's very spoiled because I wasn't in a drama person, but I was an anime person, and I was an anime person when the internet could not handle videos, and it was right before it became super popular enough that you'd get things. So you literally had to go on message boards and find someone who was fan subbing VHS and then send it to you from Japan, and then you could watch it. It was a struggle.
I remember I sort of conned some gentlemen into getting me copies of anime, so they did all the
work. You made that sound really dirty.
No. I just gave them false hope that perhaps I might date them, without actually saying it. And I was really nice to them. I was friendly to them. We hung out and I did stuff, but the side bet, not did stuff. We did stuff together. We would go to movies and stuff, play dragons. We had a friendship, but the side benefit of the friendship was that they would deliver anime to me. They got my company, and they did not get much female company at the time in return. So it was an equal exchange, you see. I'm not a bad person.
I didn't say a word.
I remembered their birthdays. I baked them cakes. I was real nice, and I didn't demand the anime. They offered, and I accepted. Oh, it's all above board.
So I'm admitting that I haven't experienced that struggle before until now, and I know even now it's really not that much of a struggle.
Yeah, there's always ways to find stuff.
I just had no idea.
Yeah, but still, it's a disappointment when you're super excited about it, especially because it's super it's easy to get all the press
information
for it and the trailers for it and people talking about it. So then you're but now I'm hyped. I'd rather have just never heard about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
It'd be one thing if it was just a listing on MDL that you hadn't really heard about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's all over Soompi or something,
it's all over Twitter.
Read all about it.
You see the worst on Soompi, and then they don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah. You see all your
Soompi
Twitter
has whole articles and stuff, and you're Nobody can access this. Stop it.
Yeah, here's the cast read. Here's this trailer. Tough cookies, you're never going to watch it. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like
5 things we loved and 2 things we hated about the episode.
yes. Stop mocking us this way.
Especially when you're trying to have legal means to find it.
The one that really threw me was Romance is a Bonus Book because Netflix withheld the first 2 episodes the first week and then dropped 4 the second week.
Yeah.
Soupy released an article on the Friday about the previous week's episodes, and it's we're all going to get to see it this weekend. Couldn't you wait it Saturday? One day?
Soupy, come on, Soupy. Listen, we left all K-pop for you.
Yeah.
Be nice to us.
We are trying to appreciate that you are the better news source. Let's keep it up there. Come on.
God, stop doing this to us.
Your main audience is English speaking who can't speak the language. Just wait.
I laughed a little bit. I don't know if you guys have been, Soupy has their Soupy Awards or whatever. Yeah. And I don't know if you've been voting for them at all, but I've been voting on them. The one category is foreign language shows or aren't
they all technically?
Technically, but by that they mean
non-Korean.
Chinese.
Yeah,
that's what they mean, because it's not even Taiwanese and Chinese. It's just Chinese shows. I don't know why they don't speak Chinese shows.
It's Chinese show, but no. And to really drag us along.
Japanese, I don't think, in the category. There's no Taiwanese in the category. There's no Thai.
I'm so behind on Coffee Friends. Oh my gosh.
I'm also behind on that one.
Yeah,
too.
but are you really behind?
No, that's the best part about it. It's it's so zen that it's just they're just live in the moment, man.
And nobody's gonna spoil anything for you. It's great.
Yeah, what are they gonna say? He burned the toast and it was a big deal.
They make coffee and French toast. That's there's no anxiety there.
Well, mostly I want to see the little guest people because it's fun.
I mean, I guess if we're going to really be honest with ourselves, the thing that we're really behind on is the last 2 episodes of 100 Days. And I am not using that as my birthday rabbit. Not do it.
One of these days we'll finish 100 Days, my prince.
I think it's going to take a good 6 months before you guys are finally ready to watch those last 2 episodes.
We will do a special episode on the podcast. We'll be so proud of ourselves.
Guess what we did? Yeah. We finished 100 Days, my prince.
Remember 10 episodes ago?
In 2024, we will finally be having that episode.
You'll play that little horn fanfare from earlier in this podcast, we did it! We did it! 100 Days, my prince died.
It's not even a bad show. Now it's a terrific show.
It's not. It's fine. It's fine. It's a perfectly acceptable television show. There is nothing horribly wrong with it. It's just
I cannot get you guys to watch the end of it. Or
I keep every time that we're we'll watch it. I'm just I just don't want to.
No, I honestly, I just want to watch Pretty Proofreader. So that seems better than 100 Days, my prince. And Touch Your Heart.
But the envoys, how will we ever get to the end of the thrilling conclusion?
I know.
Story?
I need some shirts. Envoys, just can you make it like the Yale shirt, but it's Envoy? I need that.
Oh, yes, of course. For you, anything. Anything for you guys.
Is there anything else coming up that we're excited about? Are we done?
I think we've covered
everything. I think we were done about 10, 15 minutes ago.
All right, let me sum this up. All right, everyone. On that note, this has been another incredible episode, I'm sure, of the Certified Newness. You can find us wherever you're listening to us, but also on Spotify, Google Play, the Apple iTunes, and YouTube. We are on Twitter, and we love hearing what you guys think of of our things, of what we come up with, and chatting with y'all. So it's at Certified Nunas. We love everyone. As always, this is not sponsored, but feel free to also visit my shop. Unite.threadless.com. Yeah, not sponsored. Not I always see it on YouTube, like, not sponsored. And yeah, we hope you have a great merch. Also, happy birthday, Jesse.
Yay! Bye!
Bye.